What is the best workout routine for high performers, corporate executives, and entrepreneurs? So for those who don't know me, I'm Coach Ábris, founder of Demi Cycle Protocol, and over the past year we helped over 50 high performers and corporate executives over the ages of 40 to 50 years old get in the best shape of their life, get below permanently 15% body fat, get their sleep scores up to 90 plus with the Oura ring that we send out to their address, and we track their sleep data with on a regular basis. And we sustain these results ever since, and for the doubters, here is the proof in the pudding. So plenty of client transformations, and where you can see even more in the pipeline. But the thing is, how do we make this happen? What is the workout plan? Because many of you have been asking, okay, how do I structure my time? How do I manage it in a way that I can also get into shape, and I can also hit those numbers, I can also look as amazing as your clients average? How do you do that? Well, first of all, we do not require you to spend more than 2 to 3 hours on workouts and anything else on this program. So I wanted to just get this straight, that the time commitment, the total time commitment for you to be successful in Demi Cycle Protocol is not more than 2 to 3 hours per week. Usually what I would say is ideal for longevity is like 150 to 180 minutes of intense movement on a weekly basis, so 2.5 to 3 hours. Anything more than that will just lead to the point of diminishing returns. So you want to condense your entire weekly training volume, so the total amount of work that your muscles are doing on a weekly basis, you want to condense that into 2.5 to 3 hours. And how do we do that? Well, definitely not the standard bodybuilding bro split way, and I will explain it exactly how. So we use different workout splits with our clients, and besides that, scheduled cardio workouts are just an option. So mostly we get our movement in through walks and like prolonged periods of zone 2 cardio or spent in the zone 2 state, right? Meanwhile multitasking and doing other work activities, because our clients are mostly executives at large companies, or they have their own companies, or they work a high performing job which is very demanding to them, thinking of investment banking, sales and tech. And you know how that goes. 10 to 16 hour work days are not uncommon. For an entrepreneur, I would even risk like 24/7. Sleeping in the office, Elon Musk, hello. And the thing is, for that, you definitely want to be efficient with your time, because your time is your most important asset, basically more important than anything else, more important than your money, more important than all of your assets from which you want to leverage your time, so get the most shit done in the least amount of time. Yeah, getting the bang for your buck. So how do we make that happen? Is that we structure our workouts differently than the regular bro split that gym rats or gym bros are promoting, or most of the bodybuilders promoting. Am I saying that those workout plans are ineffective or wrong? No, they can be absolutely effective, especially if you are a gym rat, a gym bro, or a bodybuilding athlete. But as you who are watching this video, you are probably not a bodybuilding athlete or a gym rat or a gym bro, you can't spend your life in the gym, you want to be a little bit more strategic about it, or at least you want to think about it differently, right? I'm not saying that bodybuilding athletes are wrong. No, they are amazing athletes, they have their expertise in their own field. The thing is, you don't want to become a bodybuilder, so why would you train like a bodybuilder? Why would you have a separate chest and bicep day on Monday? Why would you have a separate like tricep day, or triceps and chest, or triceps and delts, whatever? Why would you split it up to muscle groups? I will explain the philosophy behind what we're doing. So almost regular splits with our clients is either full body twice, full body 3 times, or upper lower full, or upper lower upper lower. These are our most common splits that we are using, and this is how we're structuring our clients' workouts. And this enables, each of these splits enables them to train each muscle group at least twice per week with moderate volume or low volume but high intensity, so they can get the most out of it. But the thing is, these bodybuilding workouts are almost like the straight opposite of this, they are focusing on completely murdering a muscle group with high volume and not really giving a shit about it until next week, right? So let me explain the difference between the two. So in a bodybuilding workout plan, which is made for bodybuilding athletes, the workout is structured in a way that they take this into consideration that the person who is doing that is probably using performance enhancing drugs, PEDs, so-called anabolic steroids, growth hormones, maybe insulin if they are like super high level. So this might not be the best advice for you. So the advice from a professional bodybuilder might not be the best advice for you as a professional hustler, right? So let's not mix the fresh air with the thunderstorm. And the thing is, when you take steroids, when you take performance enhancing drugs, your protein synthesis, so the process when the proteins get absorbed into your muscles and incorporated, synthesized into your muscles, that takes a week if you're taking anabolic steroids, which means that you have an entire week just to feed the same muscle that you have trained a week ago, right? And it will grow. But for you, the synthesis is lasting for, as a natural athlete or as a natural gym goer, gym visitor, for you, it only takes 24 to 48 hours. So that means that you need to train your muscle groups more frequently if you want to maximize the amount of lean muscle that you can put on your frame or what you can preserve if you are aging. Okay? So this is very important. Because the more lean muscle you have on your frame, faster your metabolism will get, the easier it will get to lose fat. Why? Because muscle is expensive for your body to maintain, so 1 pound of muscle is burning about 5 to 7 extra calories per day. So definitely you want to accumulate more and more muscle mass if you want to get away with eating more fruit, or if you just simply want to lose fat faster. So definitely muscle is important, and resistance training is very important. Each of our clients do some form of resistance training, either as calisthenics, like bodyweight movements, or training at their home gyms, training with rubber bands, or training at a commercial gym. All of these variations are valid within the Demi Cycle Protocol. We do not discriminate anyone. It all depends on your circumstances, on your environments, and what is the maximum we can bring out of your environment and your time. So this is why we're going for high frequency, moderate volume, and high intensity. So that means that your workout's gonna be intense, right? You're gonna push hard on some sets, but you won't be doing tons of sets. You will be finished very soon, like much sooner than these bodybuilders and these gym bros, right? None of your trainings should be longer than 60 minutes, but most of them will be much shorter than that if we happen to work together. So the accumulated amount of intense movement on a weekly basis will not be more than 150 to 180 minutes, and you will be able to train each of your muscle groups twice, so you can maximize the amount of time that you spend in the protein synthesis actually repairing and actually growing your muscles and actually getting stronger and developing yourself. Is this possible with a bro split? Yeah, it's possible, but for that, so if you train separate muscle groups, you have to go to the gym 6 days a week, or have to train 6 days a week. I do not expect you to use 6 days out of your week, especially not as a high performer or executive, to allocate for training in the gym or training at home, whatever, to do intense movement. You will probably end up getting burned out. I think rest days are one of the most important days, and yes, even on rest days you have to be strategic, you have to stay active when it comes to your daily movement targets, but when it comes to gym training, gym workouts, resistance training, there must be some days when it's a no-no, when you leave your muscles to repair themselves. So a 6-day bro split to be able to hit like each of your muscle groups twice per week is not really the most efficient for you. So instead, we are either training full body or upper-lower split or upper-lower full. These are, I would say, the most effective workout plans for entrepreneurs. And how do you assemble it? So let's go into detail. So how do you assemble the perfect workout plan for yourself? So consider how many days a week you can train and for how long. Based on that, you can decide whether you want to do 2 longer full body sessions or 3 shorter ones. Or you want to do like pretty detailed lower body session and upper body session, and then like an overall full body. Or you want to do, you can go maybe to the gym 4 times per week and you do an upper A, lower A, and then an upper B and a lower B with a rest day in between, or 2 rest days in between. You can do all of these, right? It depends on how many times and for how long you can actually spend training. Alright, the next thing, which are your lagging and which ones are your most developed muscle groups? So you have to adjust your weekly training volume, right? You want to do the most amount of work for those muscle groups, of course, which are lagging behind. But there are general rules. The most amount of work is always to be done for large muscle groups, so particularly lower body and back, right? You can do more sets per week. I'm not going to tell you the exact ideal amount of sets per week that you should be doing, because it depends on many things. Your nutrition, your recovery, how well you sleep, right? And how much your body can tolerate. So there are mad recovery, people with mad strong recovery who can do 20 to 30 sets per muscle group per week for example, let's say their back, and recover just fine, but there are people who do 9 and they just gas out, right? So the amount of sets that you're doing won't really matter, but how hard those sets are, how controlled your form is, how heavy weights you can use with correct form, how slow you can push on the eccentric phases, right? How long is the time spent under tension for a muscle group, are all part of the workload equation. So let me show you the workload equation, right? How do you assemble your total weekly workload that you need to do in the gym, right? So the total workload consists of the amounts of sets that you are doing multiplied by the amount of repetition you're doing, multiplied the amount of weight you're lifting, or the amount of resistance that you're providing for your muscle, and multiplied by the time spent under tension per repetition for that certain muscle group. You get the total workload and you can always increase it. Your goal is to achieve progressive overload, which means that the total workload in this 4-part equation always gets higher and higher on a weekly basis. So first you always increase reps. When you can do so many reps that you are beyond the, let's say, 6 to 15 rep range, then you increase the weight, you go back to 6 repetitions or 8 repetitions, whatever is comfortable for you. And after that, what you're doing is that next time you might say, I want to increase time under tension. I'm very comfortable with doing this exercise with this certain weight. This is safe for my joints, this is safe for me. I'm comfortable doing this for 15 repetitions, but hey, I still want to increase my total workload. So you will slow down your reps. You will start using pauses. Let's say the bench press. Let's say the bench or the bar itself, is landing on your chest. So you start implementing a 1 second, then 2 second, then 3 second pause. So you're doing pause benches, and then you're pressing it out. So that's simple. There are many ways to skin a cat, and there are many ways to increase your total weekly workload, and this can be suitable for any kind of workout splits and any kind of workout plans. This is exactly what we're doing with our clients. We observe their form, how correct it is, how easy it was for them to complete that certain set of that certain exercise. Then we evaluate, okay, how much heavier we could go on this, and based on that, for the next week, we increase either the weight that they are lifting, the repetitions, or, for example, the time spent under tension with using tricks like pauses, rest pause techniques, many different training methodologies that you don't necessarily have to be familiar with to just get started and pick the right and perfect workout plan for you. A general rule of thumb is that anywhere between like 6 to 9 sets per week, I think you ought to do that for muscle group, or at least 4. Let 4 sets per week for one muscle group be the bare minimum, right? Maybe it should be 6 for large muscle groups like back and legs, but for smaller muscle groups like biceps and triceps, 4 sets. As little as 4 sets will be enough for hypertrophy, so for growth on a weekly basis. right? So you divide the total number of sets, right, that you want to do between the workouts that you have set up for yourself. So let's say you're training upper body twice a week. That means that you are dividing your bicep workload, which let's say 6 sets per week. You're doing 2 sets on Monday and 4 sets on Tuesday, or 3 equally divided based on when you are the most energetic, so many different lifestyle factors, and how hard, how long those workouts are. Okay, so you can basically assemble the perfect workout plan for yourself, but it requires, of course, the knowledge and the awareness of many different lifestyle factors, and the awareness of your body, the awareness of yourself. And of course, you also got to be actually doing those workouts, actually observing your form, actually making sure that you are doing it right, you're staying consistent with it, and being able to predict that what is the amount of weight that you will be able to do in the next session, or the amount of time under tension, whatever, the amount of intensity that you will be able to produce on your next workout session without injuring yourself. So, for some of you it might be easy, and you just get started in the gym and you get a hang of it. However, for 98% of men, this only comes after like 5 to 10 years of experimentation, trials and failures in the gym. So if you are already 40, 45, 50 years old and you want to prevent these years of, you know, being in this valley of despair of why am I not making gains, why am I not losing fat, why am I always injured, if you want to skip this part, then basically you either copy paste these systems for yourself from this video, or if you find this overwhelming a little bit, but you definitely want to do it and you're ready to make a commitment, ready to invest in your health, and ready to permanently change the physique and the shape that you have and the energy levels, then go to the description of this video, book a free call with us, and after filling out a question, we will assemble you a game plan and a roadmap for the next 6 months on how we will get you below 15% body fat, get you to the best shape of your life, and double your natural energy levels without counting calories, without training more than 2 to 3 hours per week, or without having to use stimulants, sleep drugs, melatonin, and all the bullshit. So, if you're ready to get started right now and you don't want to procrastinate anymore, I highly recommend you book a free call. If you are the type of man who prefers procrastinating, who prefers making excuses, who prefers covering up with some bullshit excuse, right? Or if you just feel like you're not ready, you don't have enough time, you can't even prioritize your health enough to just spend 2 to 3 hours on a weekly basis. If you think that a high season in business will be an obstacle for you being healthy and, for example, not dying at 50, 60 years old, if you're this type of person, please don't waste each other's time. Don't book a free call. Just strengthen your mind first, because I still believe in you. Just get your brain in shape first, and how we do that is very simple. You can just go back to my previous videos where I help you with that, where I help you destroy your limiting beliefs. I help you to gain a little bit of momentum, and once you get this momentum, then it will be easy for you to establish habits that will keep serving you for a lifetime. And once you're at this point, then it's definitely relevant for you to book a free call with us with Demi Cycle Protocol and discuss potentially working together with us one-on-one in the future. And if you generally found this video useful, and now you have kind of like an idea on how to assemble the perfect workout plan for yourself, if you happen to be an executive or an entrepreneur or working a high-performing job, limited time on your hands, then please press the like and the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and share this with your employees or team members, colleagues, family members, friends, or whoever is important to you and want them to live a long, healthy, and high-performing, high-achieving, fulfilling, happy life. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.